up, everyone? Welcome back to Portorosso. I'm Corinne if you're new here. And today we are going to be doing another island build. We're actually going to be working on the entrance slash my house, which is going to be a part of the entrance. So I'm excited to get on into that. If you're new, we're doing a winter themed winter core island. We are going to get right into the video, right into the build, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to do the entrance now. You can't really tell the difference between anything here, but I want to build out this area. I took some of the things off, and if I need to, I took like 4 layers of trees off, and if I need to do more, then I need to do more, but we will see. And then I'm going to build out a little bit over here. So I wanted to start off with just kind of making a general shape for the cliff on the right, towards the right of the entrance, which is going to be my house area. And the reason I wanted to put my house at the front is because of my last island, my house was at the very back, which I loved, but I still just wanted to switch it up, you know? Also, as you'll see later in the video, so I initially make this big, to fit right here where all these trees are, that I just have so I can come grab them really quickly when I decorate. But later in the video, I do move it back a little bit in that area, and I take some of the trees out, and eventually all those trees actually get moved over to the left side of the island, just for more convenience. But so I wanted to I kept this general shape, but later I add on to the back right of this oval-ish area. So my plan was to have one cliff on the right, one cliff on the left, make it an entrance, kind of look like you're going into a forest type deal situation. Cool? Yeah. I hate terraforming. I told myself, and if you watched earlier videos, that I was going to try to do a no terraforming island, but it just didn't work for me. I don't know. It just ended up not working out. And I'm obviously, I know I've mentioned it 500 freaking times, but this is a winter core island, but honestly it's kind of leaning towards winter core, cottage core type of vibe, you know what I mean? So I'm not mad at it. I like how it's going. It's very naturey, a lot of trees, all of that good stuff, which you'll see in a little bit. But so we just kind of fill out this cliff over here, and then I like to fill everything out in the circle and then fill in the middle and then around the corners, because I think the most important part is scaling it first, because just to get your head wrapped around it, because it can be so overwhelming, and that's one of the things that I hate about terraforming. But that's one of the things that I've found that's made it easier for me, is to kind of make a general circle of the shape and then go in, and then fill in the middle, and then the very end go in and round off the corners, and just do what feels right, because that's what makes the cliff look the best. So now I've moved on to the left cliff, which I want to be a lot smaller. I also really wanted the middle area to fit at least a tree, which is obviously very hard to do. I say obviously, it's not obvious. To me, it's very hard to do. I just wanted it to be small enough to feel like a little path, but then also fit a tree or a shrub or a tree at the end, you know? So once again, just kind of doing the outline. Antonio, please do not go in the middle of that. Thank you, sir. Making the little outline and then trying to make it look as natural as possible, and then I'm gonna go and fill it in. I made this one way smaller than the other one, because this is just gonna house. It's just going to have trees and shrubs and flowers and all that good stuff on it. Just for looks, this is solely an entrance-based build. Or just solely not an entrance-based, of course it's entrance-based, a looks-based cliff build. So overall though, I'm really happy with how this shape turned out, and I didn't change the shape at all, which I really did. So I really did enjoy it. And it was the perfect size for it has a lookout to resident services as well. When it's done, there's a vine that's hung in the back, and you can climb up it and overlook resident services, which I think is really, really cute. Also, I obviously am going for this nature vibe, and there is a pin that I have pinned that I took inspiration for a bunch of cliffs around resident services. If you guys want to go check that out, I do have my Pinterest link down below, like I do in every video, but that's where I got the real inspiration for this build. And now I'm basically just kind of like doing the finishing touches on the outsides of the cliff. I wanted to have like a little seating area in the front too. Obviously, like checking how it looks from the airport is a huge important thing as well. I also change up this cliff on the right that you'll see in a little bit, because I add some and add an incline there. So just kind of editing, making it look pretty natural, because that's really important to me. But the back of the cliff isn't as important.
Okay. Oh, you can't see me. Hey. We're back. We're also, along with the bridge, we're gonna hang some vines. One here. Just one. What are we thinking? Two? Let's do two. For fun. I have so many of them. All of my cliffs will have these on them. Just by the way. And we're gonna hang some here as well. Even though I don't think I'm gonna need them, but Antonio, what is going on with him right now? I think he knows that like he's not gonna stay on the island. I do really like him, but it's just not the vibe. He just doesn't fit the vibe. I don't know how else to describe it. Okay. Okay, I can't find anything. So this is my thing, is that I want it to be like, when you're here and like you're looking at the entrance, like I want it to be in the shot. So I think that it needs to go either here or here. Okay, now that we're here, build it here. Let me imagine it. Okay, I think that's what I want. Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. Okay. Woo! Do bam. No. And then tomorrow, after we time travel, we'll be able to see if I need to build out the cliff a little more. Speaking of time traveling, I'm gonna pay this bad boy off, and then we're gonna time travel to the next day. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Hell yeah. Oh, that vine now doesn't mean anything. Is that the only vine that I put? Cool. Cool. Okay, great. Okay, now I am going to save and time travel till tomorrow. Look at us. Up on our cliff with our most basic house that you could ever imagine. Woo! Okay. Ooh, I haven't even looked at this yet. I love... Okay. What? Are these stairs? I never realized that these are stairs. Do you see that? I want to do a thing, but what? Okay. Oh, look at his little paws. Okay. We're ignoring that fully because I don't have the energy to deal with my favorite villager asking me to leave. So if you ignore Barreled, this is what we have going, and it's really cute. I really like it. I'm into it. Okay, let's plant some trees. I want... Oh, Barreled, calm down.
So this is the basic decorating that I do for my filler areas. I always start with trees first, and then kind of just see wherever they can go, especially on cliffs and areas where we're close to like water or anything like that. It's a little bit difficult to place trees, so they're really important to this island, so I just kind of place them wherever I can fit them, and add in the appropriate if I need to, like plant a fruit tree next to them to stunt them or anything like that. And then after that, I also always make sure to have fruit on me so I can dig up those trees and then plant them if I need to stunt the tree. That's like my biggest building tip. But the tree thing is a huge thing for me. Like that is like, I can't stress that enough, especially like going on my island daily and making sure that I have young, large cedar trees is huge. And like the different levels of trees is just like, it just looks so much better. And that's something that I'm doing on this island that I didn't do at all on my last island, which is like the best decorating tip ever, is to use different sized trees so you can use that layering effect in your decorating.
Let's see how that looks. Oh, hey, wait, I get barreled. I can't deal with you right now. Ooh, I don't like, okay, I'll just have to put like a bush right there. I don't like the little tree being shown, but that's perfect.
Now we get into the good decorating, so we get to start using all the filler stuff, like the flowers, and then the custom designs are huge. I will have the custom designs linked in the description. I have like a little Google Doc where you can go and see all the custom designs. Sometimes people ask me where I get my custom designs from, and the biggest thing, and I'll always share this, is from Pinterest and from other creators. I highly suggest, if you have like a themed island, the first place to start is to just go on YouTube and search either like for winter core codes, or winter themed island, for Animal Crossing, and then you'll find a bunch of amazing creators that you can support, and obviously they'll have their codes that you can use, but the biggest thing is supporting people in the community as well, because, you know, that's just an amazing thing to do. But anyway, I will have the codes that I use linked down below. I have been loving filler nature areas for this island, especially because I get to use the glowing moss in the weeds, and everything stays so under control because it's in the winter, and they're just tiny and perfect, and I love them so much. I've also been loving the flowers that I've been using because I'm a big fan of the windflowers, and the pansies, the blue and white pansies, are some of my favorite flowers in the entire game. I've also been dabbling with some hyacinthus because I also love hyacinthus. So those are just in there, even though to me, like, it could kind of go 50-50 if they match or not. I also like to have every single area, like, square covered, because eventually I will do an area where I will make a rock garden, and I will make a dig spot, I like to call it, where everything spawns for the day. Fossils, gyroids, money spot, it will all spawn in one area, and I love that for me. I got that idea, speaking of creators, from Liz the Lass. I used it on my last island, and I for sure will be using it on this island. It's just so convenient, and everything's right there, and it looked really cute on my last island, and like I had a bunch of fossils laying around. It was adorable. But I just like everything being in one area and there not being any surprises. I don't know, it's just something that makes me happy. So that's where I use the weed filling in and all the extra design codes. I also always throw a gyroid in my designs. That's what you saw, and I like to throw in any other items, like filler items, that I can find. A lot of times I use like the baby bears, the mama bears, these builds, or like the log stools, just little things like that, even just books to fill in those empty areas. Now moving on to just some regular paths. This one is going to be leading up to my home, and it's just the path that I've been using for the entire island. Like I said, codes will be linked down below. I've been loving this custom code. I was a big advocate for in-game pathing. I said that wrong. I've been a big advocate for in-game pathing, but just something about the freedom this code provides, and like you don't need to worry about diagonals, you don't really need to worry about where to go, and it just looks so perfect on the snow. It has just been a complete game changer in my game, and I know in my gameplay, and I know that everyone's like, well, obviously it was, like, you should have known that, but I was just in love with in-game paths and how it made your map look. So I still haven't mastered the in-game path, the code path, with also making your map look awesome. But I've been really into this path, and I think it looks really good, and I don't know how I could top a custom design path on any other island. But I like to make it like patchy, kind of like snow's covering it, and so that's kind of the general vibe of the path. And now you can really see like the entrance path. I know I've said path like 7 times in the sentence, coming together now, and I just start building it out. When I'm building a path, I like to put the path down or the custom design down first before I do put trees in, so there's no path, it's going to go trees first, but if there's a path, it's going to go path then trees, just because it gives me a nice little sense of direction of what I'm doing, literally and figuratively, a sense of direction. And also, this is a really tight space, so it's a little bit different, but in a really open space, it gives you, just like when you terraform in a certain shape, when you lay down a path in a certain shape, it gives you that place to play and kind of close in your imagination a little bit more. And by closing your imagination, I mean like wheel in your ideas, and like if you get overwhelmed by decorating, it just gives you like that outline that I love. I'm a big like brain dump person, so I feel like when I can lay down path or lay down trees or something that's gonna give me some sense of like, oh, like this is me mapping it out, and then I can just go from there. And when I fall into a groove of that, then it's extremely helpful. So those are just some tips, because I know people have talked about how overwhelming decorating can get, especially with all the amazing creators out there, and you see so many like beautiful islands. It's like, where do you start? And that's something that I really struggled with. But just always setting that foundation down for you to start off and then go through. That's what I recommend. Then I ended up going and redoing my house. I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I landed on the log cabin. I think that look is the most appropriate for this island. And you guys will see the finished product in a few clips, but for now, just enjoy me picking out my house. So we time traveled to the next day, and then I started working on the left side of the house. As you can see, Gale came to play, and you can get a little quick sneak peek of how the house looks on top of the cliff, but I'll show that fully in a second. But I just was moving some trees around, and then I decided that I wanted to make this like a picnic area, but with a table and like a clothesline. I wanted it to be really interesting because you're going to be able to see it from the entrance and from the airport. So it was something super important for me to like be really like visually appealing. And also, no matter you knowing me, if I have a slingshot in my hand, which I always try to, I will always get a balloon down. Just fun fact about me, especially because I need all those DIYs, because y'all know how I feel about the DIYs. Oh, and Antonio once again came to play. Also, something I didn't show in this is that I went to Harv's Island, I DIY'd a ton, I filmed it all, but it ended up getting boring and repetitive, so I didn't want to bore you guys with it. But that's how I get all these items. I treasure hunt as much as I can, but when it comes to like, I find inspiration on Pinterest, or there's like, I have inspiration for like an idea of what I want to build, I get these specific items in my head, and usually treasure islands, because I only use free ones, don't help me as much. I think if you're paying for them, it might be a little bit more helpful, and by all means, like, if you're gonna pay for them, like, feel free. Like, this is just my experience. I just use the free ones because I can, but I just end up, like, the DIYs become so important to me, and getting as many items as I can becomes so important to me because it's just difficult. And when I get my head set on an idea, I have to have that idea with those specific items, and that's why Harv's Island also is extremely valuable to me. Antonio also really was getting in the way here, and I was pretty pissed about it, but you know, it's fine. I think eventually I push him out of the way. But one thing, I know I've been talking a lot about not how I don't get a ton of stuff from Treasure Islands. I do get a ton of stuff from Treasure Islands. It's just that I don't always get specific things that I'm looking for from Treasure Islands. But one thing that I did do is right before this build, I went to a treasure island and got a ton of food items, and I was so happy I did, because then they looked so good in this build. Like, I can't even stress that enough. Like, they looked amazing, and I love the food items, and I always forget. There's me pushing Antonio, and I always forget to get the food items when I'm on treasure islands or anything like that. And Antonio, please get out of the way. But some of the pastry stuff, just like in the bread and everything, just look amazing. Yes, I fully pushed Antonio all the way out there. But so I wanted to look very picnic-like with all of the yummy cooking food items. And as I'm placing the items as well, you have to keep in mind that all the back there is going to be filler, so I need to get back there just to decorate. Shrubs, bushes, glowing moss, weeds, flowers, all that good stuff. Obviously I lay my trees first, but everything else needs to be filled in eventually for it to work in my head. Also, my hair shifts randomly in these clips, but another thing that I like to do whenever I go to Harv's Island is get my hair done by Harriet, and that's why my hair is different than it normally is in this clip, because I liked it. It was fine, you know, we just vibed with it, but then I ended up changing it back to my normal ponytail that I love, and it also is just good for pictures. Like when I'm taking thumbnails, to keep the same hairstyle, but I do try to go and get all of the hairstyles that I can from Harriet, and I try to go over to Harv's and also the DSC every day to item shop and to just, you know, stay up to date with everything. Now I'm just kind of putting in the finishing touches, getting that filler area in back there, adding the items that I want to be in. And as you can see, there is a vine hanging from the back that if I ever need to access it, and eventually when I put out the DA, the dream address, you guys can hop up there if you want. But I don't really care if the island is like, so you're gonna see that it's like really hard to get through here. I don't really care if you can go back there. All I care about is that you can sit in like one or two places and it all looks good. I know a lot of people are very into like being able to navigate the whole area. I just want it to look cute and look how I want it to, and then maybe have like one spot that I can like pop in for a picture. That's truly all that I care about. Some of the last things that I like to do is put fences up or like hedges up or anything that's going to create a barrier from the cliff, because I just think it looks nice. I also like to make sure that I always put a custom design down underneath the fences because I think it just adds that extra little touch. And that's that. Isn't that cute? Right? Okay, so I took inspiration from a Pinterest picture, which I'm gonna include the user that pinned it down below. If I can, like, I'm gonna try to research it and see if I can, like, see if they actually, if like they were the original creator or whatever. I want to give credit where credit's due, okay? But it's basically, it's a portion of that pin. But as always, most of my inspiration comes from Pinterest, and I've always link in every video my Pinterest down below if you guys want to go check that out. I have an Animal Crossing general board, and then I have my Winter Island board, which is for this island. But we need to pick a gyroid. And since it's my home, I think I know exactly which gyroid I want. This is my baby. This is my favorite gyroid. So I think he will be coming. And then also I'm gonna bring him. And then we need one for the pathway. So we need a chill one. This guy is not chill. We put bubbles up top. Ooh, you? Wait, do we have, let me look. I don't think we have the one that I'm thinking of. Oh, I want to try this one. I've never tried this one before. I've never used this one before. I also like this guy too. Okay, but you know what we're gonna do? We're going to customize. Okay, oh, he's gonna stay white, I think, but we can look. I really like this one. Ooh, the blue. We're gonna keep him white for now though. Yeah, and then my gal is gonna, oh wait, I wanna look what he looks like when he's blue. This is my favorite variation of him, the white. Let's do the blue though. I think that'll match better. And then we gotta go for the last one. And, oh, I know. I love this one. I think this one's so funny. Okay. Sick. Let's go. Okay, why Jambet and Zucker are up here in the area where I need them to be is beyond, or the area I don't need them to be is beyond me. Okay, also, I don't think I've shown this yet. This is what the house turned out to look like. I like the house, I have to say. Okay, so I really wanted to do a, like, Jambet. Thank you. I really wanted to do, like, a storage shed, like, DIY situation area for myself because I need it. But I think a really good idea would be a, like, a hot tub situation. So that's what we're gonna do. I went to Harv's Island again, customized a bunch of things, and we are going to try to attempt a little bathtub build.
A few moments later.
Hey guys, it is so much later in the day, and I have driven myself crazy. I've tried to do this build like 4 different times, and I absolutely hated it. I was going off of like a Pinterest picture, and then it just didn't match up, and it was just absolutely miserable. So like we have this whole thing done, and I think it looks real cute. And then over here, I wanted to do like a spa type thing. And that's what I ended up planning. And then I had to like rebuild it a bunch of times and add all these trees and da 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 and yada yada yada. And yeah, so we ended up with what I'm gonna show you. I still have to do like everything for it, but I think I have a solid plan, and I'm confident enough to film that solid plan. So because this is my home, I wanted it to be like a cute spa thing. And then if it like looks good, because like everybody in the winter like wants to go to a hot tub, right? In the snow. So, you know, you guys have seen this, but so I am going to put, like I have my full pockets of everything that I want to use, and I'm just going to go for it. This build was one of the most time-consuming Animal Crossing builds that I have ever done. It turned into what you guys saw originally, that like small little square
Two, I added some cliff onto the back of the cliff so I could add more trees, and then it just expanded everywhere, and I'm just so determined to have the cypress bathtub on my winter island. And then I got it stuck in my head that it had to be near my house because it didn't make sense anywhere else. And I'm filming this in the future, and how this turned out truly is one of my favorite builds I've ever done in Animal Crossing. I was inspired because I saw a cypress bathtub on a winter island on like a beach, and I was like, I need that somewhere on my island. So who doesn't love a spa next to their house in the winter? And when I was growing up, I had a hot tub just for a little bit. It actually ended up getting like destroyed, but I had a hot tub at my house, and the best thing I remember was going in it when it was snowing outside. Shout out to my family for our hot tub being destroyed. That was the funniest thing ever. It was just like, ugh, it wasn't a great hot tub, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but anyway, I really do love how this build turned out, and getting to use like the Radin furniture was fun. So I was super into it. And also adding a storage shed up here was a huge bonus, as you'll see in a second, because it's just storage sheds are so important to me, and like such a part of my island that I need. And I will eventually build like a little tiny DIY area near my house because I need it desperately. But for now, the storage shed will do. So I do suggest anybody builds like a spa area on their island. I think it's really cute. And what I love about this is that it's like tucked away from the rest of the island. And it's not like a super big eyesore. And even though it doesn't like, I don't know, like, you know, like it's not like naturey. It's just like a fun little winter spa, but I like how it's hidden on my island, and really what else was I gonna put over in this small corner of my island? So 10 out of 10 recommend.
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking before I do the filler areas. But at the same time, oh, where are you going? What are you doing? Are you like trying to sit in this chair? What's your game plan right now? Okay. Thing. What are we doing, my dude? Okay, well, I guess they're gonna stay like this for now. I'm gonna do some filler, and then also I'm gonna take off this little corner when we get to it, but let's do some filler areas.
Of course, we're gonna come in with those finishing touches of filler area. Same thing that we've done in every video: weeds, glowing moss, in every build that we've done in this video. Weeds, glowing moss, flowers. I don't know if I have any shrubs in there. Oh look, I literally planted a shrub as I said it. Custom designs, everything just to make it feel like a foresty feel, especially with the spa vibes. You want to feel like no one else is looking at you. That's what I was going for this like cozy enclosed winter oasis, and I love this build. I love how it turned out. I think it looks so good, and it's just like a perfect spot onto my house. And there's also a vine on the back of the cliff that I can get up and down there without having to move everything out of the way. Most of my cliffs have vines on them just for me to climb up the back. If you come visit my island whenever the Dream Address gets released and you want to see that, that's where they are. I really like them, but you can see I could weave in there a little bit. I also hated how these chairs were facing. I was trying to like get the feel for it, and truly it just like didn't fit the vibe exactly. Oh, and I put those slippers down. Okay, are those slippers not the cutest things ever? I also have like sandals that I like, but for now those slippers stayed, and like one of the best design choices I've ever made. I always forget that I could place like clothes and bags and everything down for decoration, and it was amazing. So I just kind of started finishing off the rest of my house, wherever anything needs to be, and I also added that tree so the spa is like more hidden, which I thought was just like the most clever thing ever. Not to toot my own horn. If you can't tell, I'm just extremely happy with how this turned out. But even adding stuff behind the trees, just like I said earlier, to make sure that we have every single spot covered. I love it. Even some custom designs on the wood. It's just too perfect, is it not? And I ended up adding some more fencing over on this area just to kind of close it off a little bit because it is a cliff, you know, but it's just, I just love it so much. Okay, so I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. And it makes me very happy. And if you liked it, what would make you even more happy is to hit that like button and then also subscribe. And if you want to see more videos from me, when I say us, I feel like I refer to me and me in the game. You can turn on the notification bell to get notified every time we upload. Oh my gosh, I did it again every time I upload. But thanks again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Love ya, XOXO. See you in the next one.